Every time I wanted to learn a new technology, I would actually do what everyone does. I would open a tutorial from YouTube. I will then consume that tutorial. I will watch for several hours. And then what happens? There is a thought in my mind that I have really watched this and I have cleared all my concepts. But no, that wasn't the case. I was actually forgetting what was all consumed that day after 5 to 10 days, maybe. And then one day I have tried to change my way of learning, and it really helped. Now I'm not watching any tutorials for several hours. It's a new way that I'll be sharing with you in this video. Hey everyone, welcome back. So if you are anything like me that who used to learn new technologies every week, every day, if there is something new that is coming this week or next month, then you have to learn something. Because I do like this only. I love to explore new technologies. I love to learn new technologies. And yeah, I would simply open YouTube, open the best tutorial out there, and then I learn for hours, for 5 to 6 hours of tutorials in my head. But then when I open the editor and start to do things practically, then there is nothing in my head. I usually can't remember what was actually taught. I remember what the technology has been doing, but nothing's there what I can do practically. I actually know the use case, but I don't know how to build it. And that's when I realized that learning by watching tutorials is not something that you are doing practically. You need to be practical, you need to have hands-on that technology to make something good, rather than watching tutorials for hours, for 10 hours, for 9 hours. That is not something learning. And that realization has changed my mind a lot, and now I'm doing things differently. Do you want to know those things? I would actually share this in this video. First thing I do is, no, I'm not coding yet. Don't just start by opening your VS Code editor or opening any other editor. This is not the first step that you should do always. So the first thing what I would do is that I'll definitely go towards some of the articles, some of the blogs. Rather, I'll say that I'll go towards the technology that I will be using. I will learn about that technology more. By learning, I'm not saying that I need to know the syntax or anything. For that, I'm saying is that you need to go towards that technology, why it's being used, what is the use case, where we can implement it, what are the edge cases, what are the different alternatives for this technology. And yeah, when you will be able to answer these questions, it's not will be like any other buzzword, but it will be genuinely something that you will able to learn. This is not something a new buzzword that will be coming this weekend or another week, but now this will become a motto of your learning. So rather than opening your VS Code editor first, you will go some of the questions in your head, which are why developers are being using it, why developers use in this their in their project, why developers use this, why why is the necessity for using it, can we do a project without it. There are many questions in your head. First just clear them out, and then we can move towards our actual documentation part. Now I know that documentation isn't everyone likes to read or everyone likes to learn that thing, but you know what's the role of documentation? The role of documentation isn't to make you perfect or isn't to make you learn everything. It's not that. It is a helping tool. Suppose you are going towards a technology. Now, there are some questions. What are the basics? What is the responsibility of this technology? How do we use it? What is the basic syntax? What is the boiler code? Everything. There are many questions around you. And all these are cleared by that documentation. Now, I'm not saying to go and just read it and learn it, memorize it. No, this is not the right way. The actual way is to just open that documentation, see the basics, see how it is being used. Don't learn, don't memorize it, just see it, and then just start building the thing. Now when you are building it, you can go towards that documentation completely. Whether it is 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, or multiple times, you can go towards that documentation. That is the role of documentation. It is not like you are using any AI or something. It's just that you are using a tool which is completely made by the developer who built that technology. So this is the actual use case of documentation. In start, I was also not using that documentation, but now I'm completely dependent on that, and I feel much more lighter than when I was building it when I was a rookie, I would say. Now, once we have the whole clarity of the documentation thing, the reference thing, we can move towards the AI. Now, AI is a very powerful thing. Now, when we are onto a documentation, there are many things. There are many things that you haven't seen, you haven't heard of. Now you can AI. Now you can use AI here. Now, from using it, what I mean is you can go towards any LLM with whatever it is, ChatGPT or Claude. You can search anything. If there's something XYZ in a documentation, now you can go towards ChatGPT and ask whether what is this, how it can be used, what is the real case scenario, what is the real life analogy, anything that is on across your mind. But there's a thing. Now you should not use that AI for writing complete codes. You should avoid it. You can ask for the boiler codes, you can ask for the explanation whether why it's being used or what is the actual use case of this, but avoid the real life codes. Now, this AI thing makes actually simple for you. You have a teacher around you. You can ask for that teacher anytime whenever you get stuck on that documentation thing or any other thing. This will help completely and get out of that problem. Now, if something doesn't make sense, I'll keep asking why. ChatGPT will answer it, and I'll again ask why. Because the main goal isn't to understand or isn't to just work out the code. It's about how your conceptual memory is being used, or how you are understanding it, how you can implement many other problems out of it. The main goal isn't to just write code and just get the desirable output. It's not about that. It's about how you are learning it, how you are using your mind, how you are using your conceptual memory to solve that problem. And there AI comes into the power. And this is where everything changes for me. I Rather than going towards the editor first, rather than going towards the code first, I used to clear my concepts, I used to read documentation, I used to read the blogs, articles and all. And that is what the biggest mindset shift was in my head. Rather than doing practically directly, I'll go towards the articles, blogs, and other things. Then now I can actually learn by building it rather than watching 10 hours of tutorials, 6 hours of tutorials, and then just go towards the editor and forget everything. This is the biggest thing that I have done to change my way of learning. Now, there is a thing that everyone needs to do is that they go towards tutorials directly for 10 hours, for 6 hours, they watch that completely. Now I want you to just think of two cases. There's a person A and there's a person B. Person A, what he used to do, he used to watch tutorials, he used to write everything that is being taught in that tutorial. Then what happens is that he goes towards his editor after 2 or 3 days, and boom, he forgets everything. He is not able to write those syntaxes, codes, and all. He actually needs his notes to remember all those things. And there's this person B. He now actually go towards documentation, go towards ChatGPT, go towards concepts, go towards different questions in his head, which is what this technology is used for, what is the actual use case, everything. So basically I want you to tell me which is the best tactics for learning anything. I think you all be going towards this person because he's clearing his mind, he's clearing all the questions that he has in his mind. He's going towards the learning in a beautiful way. He's clearing his doubts, he's clearing all the basics, he's going towards ChatGPT, he's asking why until he's getting satisfied. So this is the best strategy, and this is why many people doesn't stuck anywhere now. So if I had to summarize my entire learning process, it is simple. If any technology is coming today at 7 p.m., So what I would do is around 7 p.m. I will watch what is that technology is for. What is the main use case of it? I'll read about that technology, who is behind that technology, why is this technology introduced. I'll clear some of my questions in my head. Then I'll simply go towards some of the blogs, some of the articles that are written by writers. Then I'll read some of the alternatives that are already being published about around this technology. And finally I'll go and open that technology, and then there is this thing of documentation, which is the favorite thing of mine, and I'll extract all the informations about that. I'll keep those things in my mind which are necessary for understanding what the technology is about basics, about the boiler codes, about the use cases, about the edge cases, about the implementation with different AI tools. And now, after reading that reference completely, I'll go towards my editor, because building is everything. Without building, you cannot learn anything. Without, if you are reading any blog, if you are reading any article, but not building, then all the things go just into waste. You need to build that thing. You need to build some of the projects around that technology. If you are watching 10 hours of tutorial, if you are reading blogs, if you are reading articles, if you are reading documentation, but if you are not building, it just completely ruins your all time or your memory, everything. So yeah, that's pretty much how I used to learn new tools, new softwares when they come. And I'm not saying this is the only way that you should follow, or you should just keep that in keep in your mind and just work upon it, because learning has different ways. Everything works for every other person, and this is the thing that I've shared with you works for me well, so I've shared that with you. And just don't focus on finishing courses, finishing 6 hours, finishing 8 hours. Don't focus on that. Just focus on clearing your concepts, your basics. Read enough about that technology, and read enough to start building it. Don't just focus on completing the courses. If you change your mind from which courses should I opt, from which concept, which what should I build, which technology should I use, if you start thinking like this, then you can easily build some great things out there, and also you can learn many things. I think these questions can completely change the way how you learn things. And if you love this video, if you like this video, then I would genuinely want to know how you approach your new tools, your new softwares. Please comment down, and as I'm also looking for me, I completely try to improve myself also. So if you are approaching a new tool and using a different way of learning, please comment down. Until then, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.